Guys, guess what I finally got? It is not a package from Lick Art Materials. It's a package from the one and only 100. Some of you guys already know exactly why I have this package, but for those that don't, let's unbox this together. Ooh, this is so secure. Look at all the bubble wrap. Okay, I've got it. Wow, that was intense. He did not play games that rapid. Oh my gosh, I'm actually speechless. Peter 100 is an incredible artist. So if you guys are coming from his channel, I should even explain. So this is season 2 of a massive YouTube artist collab. If you saw season 1, he had amazing artists and they created an incredible piece at the end, which they auctioned up for charity. With season 2, it's a little different.
Each YouTuber can only select another YouTuber that has less subscribers than them.
Stay tuned to the end if you want to see who I'm sending it to, but first we gotta get through this process. Guys, looking at this in person, his work, his brush strokes, the vividness of the colors. I can't. Okay, now I need to be focused. Ooh, there's a note on the back. Hello, you talented creators. Stop it. You need to select another YouTuber. It doesn't necessarily have to be an art YouTuber. Ooh, just someone you think could get creative with this art. Oh, this is so amazing. Thanks, Peter. So obviously, I have no clue where to start. We need to talk about the wood panel. If you're familiar with my channel, you know that I do color pencil drawings in sketchbooks. I've always wanted to draw on wood, so it's something that I might have to play around with, but I'll have to test out to see if it works. I'm trying to imagine and trying to go off of what he did. Obviously, I'm thinking of going down here. That might not be obvious, but I can't imagine just doing something up here. I could maybe even go over here, but it's like, how does this turn into a cohesive piece at the end? I don't know. Maybe someone that he's walking with through this forest thing. I don't know. Okay, time to start experimenting. First, I'm gonna take a picture of the canvas on my iPad, and I'm really just gonna stare at it until inspiration comes.
Later.
I'm gonna be so honest with you and say it's been about 2 weeks since I last looked at this wood panel. I have been stuck on ideas. Initially, looking at the blue of the background, I was like, ooh, what if I do someone that's kind of underwater, half of her face being submerged, and you know, then we get the blues coming out. Honestly, water where? Because his blue background is very abstract. I really like the contrast that it brings to the rest of the piece, but to now link it to water, it's not really giving. So now I'm thinking about the armor, you know, the helmet and the warrior, I don't know what you call it, shield, breastplate, I don't know. But now looking at that, that's giving me the vibe of a protector. Where's he going? What's he protecting? What's that bird saying? And then we've got some of the greens around him in the background. And now I'm like, okay, so maybe they're in the forest and I could do the whole idea of someone hiding behind some leaves. I like the vibe of that. And if you're familiar with my channel, you know I love drawing women. So I could just imagine the vibe of a woman hiding behind some leaves and this man huntering and this man trying to find her, trying to protect her, I don't know the story, but I really like this vibe. This is the exploration stage, just play around with ideas. So I've just gone into Pinterest and I've added a few things to my board, and you can see the vibe of, you know, mostly leaves and then you see somewhat a face. I really love this idea of the colorful leaves, so like bring in extra colors, so it's not just green, all of those blues are really coming through. I really love that. And I just love the idea of, you know, just forest behind and then a striking person that has a really nice contrast. I think that would be great. This one with the eye is sick. Imagine doing such a detailed eye and then a leaf. But with the composition we've got and with what 100 started, I don't think I can just put an eye inside. Maybe I could, I don't know. So Pinterest has been really great for idea generation, and I found 2 images that I really loved. So I've gone into Photoshop. So I've got this first image and we've just got the lady and she's kind of peeking through some leaves. I love that vibe in the bottom right. And this second option is of this person hiding behind some leaves, and the back definition, the skin tone, the contrast. Not gonna lie, I'm feeling this one more. So I've gone ahead to ask my patrons, which one are you feeling more of the vibe? And my patrons came through. Pizza Belly says, I'm more drawn to 2 myself. I love how the leaves don't overtake the character. Balmer says, I'm more drawn to number 2. I feel like it's more balanced between the foliage and the model. Also, I like the model is showing more skin and you see the gorgeous rich browns next to the cool green leaves. I don't know what I'm talking about though. Yes, you do, because that sounds awesome and that's exactly the vibe I'm going for. Now I need to figure out where I'm going to find my actual actual reference from. I used Pinterest initially because it works so well for initial idea exploration. It gives you other images that's very similar and along the same length, so it helps to just get the ideas flowing. I still struggle as an artist. Do you have to use a copyright-free website, or can you just use any reference? Because technically it's going to be made in my own style and it's going to be an amalgamation of a lot of things. I'm not sure. I'm going to have a look on some of those copyright-free websites to see if I can find an image that kind of fits the vibe. If not, ooh, should I take a picture of my own? No, honestly, it's no everyday self-portrait.
Two hours later.
It has taken me a while to be able to find a reference because honestly, I was just in love with this image. I just love the colors, the vibrancy, the composition. Honestly, this reference was perfect for the vision I had. And I emailed the photographer, I DM'd her, didn't hear anything back. As an artist, it's important to respect fellow artists, so I needed to get her permission, but it's all good. I found a bunch of other photographs on copyright-free websites, so I might end up having to do like an amalgamation of a few. I like this one as the main subject. It has a similar kind of vibe, but I'll use greenery and other things from other pictures just to bring this whole thing together. And this one is completely free to use. The photographer Anastasiia is amazing. She has other images with a similar style as well. I'll link her Pexels page down below. But now I can finally start on this wood panel, and guys, this is where the nervousness comes in. So 1000 used acrylic paint on his part. If you're familiar with my channel, you know I love coloring pencils. I've seen other people draw with coloring pencils on wood, so I really want to try it. I bought some wood slices and I'm just going to practice to see how my coloring pencils work on this wood surface before I finally put it on the actual piece. But first, I probably need to gesso it.
A few moments later.
The gesso is completely dry now. I'm going to test my coloring pencils. The three main ones I want to test are the Prismacolors, Faber-Castell and Caran d'Ache. The main difference between them is what is used in their binding agent. So some are more waxy, some are more oil-based. And this affects how nice they apply, so some blend easier than others. I have my favorites, but I've never attempted to color on wood, so I have no idea what to expect. And now I'm just trying to see if I can get any blending on this gessoed surface. I'm just doing the regular technique. I've got quite a few videos on it on my channel. I'll link one above. And the blending seems to work okay, but realistically, will it work on the pre-gessoed panel 1000 gave me? I don't know. It's like I don't want to ruin it. I don't just want to go in and be like, yeah, I'm using pencils by force if it's not going to work. So I'm just going to quickly... And guys, nothing is happening. The surface feels so smooth. It's too smooth. Oh my gosh. I can't see any pigment. The darker color is a little better, but honestly, this isn't it. To be honest, I'm not loving the finish of this. I think I'm just gonna have to leave my coloring pencils. So I've bought some fluid acrylics. I've never tried it before. It's still sealed. I guess you have to wait and see the painting portion, but first to do our sketch. If you're familiar with my channel, you know I love sketching on loose paper and then I transfer the sketch when I'm ready. I just need to figure out how big it's going to be in relation to 1000's character. Now that I've got my basic sketch, I'm reconsidering the position. So obviously initially I said bottom right, but now I'm like, what if it goes in the middle and it's kind of next to the character? But then because she's hiding, why is she just hiding next to him? He needs to find her, right? I don't know, but I'm just gonna stick to the bottom right. So I'm using a graphite transfer sheet, and it's a very simple technique of just using a biro and going over all of my sketch lines. I love this technique always because you can make mistakes on your sketch and it can turn out as haggard as it needs to, but you can just transfer the lines you actually want to keep. And here is the sketch transferred. Okay, it's done a bit of a shoddy job, but I can still see the main proportion, so I'm just quickly putting in the missing parts and then we can finally get to the painting. So here are the paints I got. It looks like a pretty nice selection of colors. And how you know I don't paint a lot is this is the only palette I can find. Obviously the paint is dried onto the palette, but here's a little bit of ASMR for you. I don't want to ruin what 1000's got going on this side, so I'm just going to put my palette on this card and we can go. I'm a bit nervous for the skin, so I'm going to start with the background. Going to try to match it a little bit to the blue the 1000's used. I'm going to be speeding through the painting process in this video, but if you want to see the full thing, you can head over to my Patreon. I've got an extended video, which is a longer tutorial. It's side by side. I'm mixing all the colors and talking through the entire process. And that's probably one of the best ways you can support me as an artist right now. If you don't like tutorials, I've got a bunch of other tiers with other goodies. So feel free to check out my Patreon, and thank you for your support in advance. For this piece, I don't want a super blended look. I want it to keep it quite abstract. I'm trying to bring in some of the colors that I can see on 1000 side as well. So he's got, you know, the oranges in the hair. He's got some pinks. He's got purples, golds. Obviously, mine is still a realistic style, but I'm also keeping those colors in mind to keep it cohesive. It is the next day, and I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm not loving how this is looking. I left it overnight so I can really ponder on it. I do like some of the colors I've got in the shoulders, and then something I just realized I'm missing is in the first picture I wanted to do, there were the leaves covering her face. So there was this massive hidden element, and I definitely don't have it with this one. So I think the first thing I'm going to do is just try to draw some leaves that kind of match what 1000 has done on his side. And then I can have some leaves that are kind of covering some of the mess of the back, but also acting in this hidden kind of format I was initially going for. But yeah, I think I'm ready to move on with this, and I'm excited, scared, excited. This leaves part was probably one of the most nerve-wracking for me because I'm not using a reference, so I'm kind of guessing. I don't know the names of leaves, so I didn't even know what to search, and anything I found wasn't really fitting the vibe. But after I've got a few going, honestly, I'm not mad at it. Small shadow and highlight, and I'm actually liking this. This might be my favorite part of the piece. So I've added some more in this corner, but I want to focus on adding some details because obviously we can't see her eyes or anything at the moment. And that kind of scares me because I never do this backwards way of working where I add the detail last. I usually add the detail as I go. So I would never just block out colors and then bring detail from nowhere. And I really admire artists that can manage to do that. I'm loving how it's coming together. At this point, I'm just loving the actual painting process. Painting is low-key therapeutic. Maybe I should do more painting videos on my channel. So I'm feeling motivation for more leaves. I'm just feeling like adding more and more leaves. She's meant to be hidden, right? And with the finishing touches, my first collab on YouTube is done. So we're finally done. Before I reveal the painting, I'm sure you want to know who's next.
Oh my gosh, you scared me. Well, hello everyone. I guess I'm next in line for the throne. Thank you so much, Temi, for letting me be in this collaboration. I'm so excited. I can't wait to see what you've done. I will not let you down. I know this isn't a competition, but bring it on. I'm ready for the challenge. Bye.
That's right, it's Christian from Black Bean CMS. I'm a massive fan of his, so I had to get him to jump on board. And without further ado, here is my painting. This painting has been 100% out of my comfort zone. The fact that it's even a painting and not a drawing, I can't wait to see where this goes. Make sure you're following along as well. But shout out to my patrons, and I'm sure you enjoy this video next.